Hello? 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 Hi. Hello? Hi. Hello? Hello? Mr. Obama? Is that you, Mr. President? I'm gonna drown. Hi. Hello. I'm the sleepiest I've ever been in my entire life. I'm the sleepiest that anyone has ever been in human history. You're going to be the sleepiest plushie in human history. Twitch open and the volume at 5%. Oh no. Just a really, really soft hello? Hello? Hello, Alex? Alex! Help me! Hi. That's way funnier to me than it should be. I'm sorry. Help, I'm trapped in the computer. Stop slouching him. Oh, God. That's very funny. That's very funny. Okay, gotta do the thing. Friends, enemies, past romantic partners, and future nemesis, welcome to the long haul. It's a celebration of simulation. Today we're playing Power Wash Simulator again.
I love this show!
I love this show. You're Natsune Miku from nowhere and that didn't worry you? I don't get worried when I hear Hatsune Miku from nowhere. Hey, did y'all know that I recently refused the opportunity to go to Miku Fest? Like I could go to like one of the Hatsune Miku shows. It's in fucking Portland. I could have gone for free. I would just have to take a train there. And I'm not doing it. Whoops. I could have. Concerts are scary though. Concerts are scary. No one's gonna be wearing a mask. They're all gonna be too busy singing Miku songs to wear a mask. And also that's in Portland, and I haven't slept not in my own bed in like 7 years or something. I hate traveling, even if it's a very short traveling. So I'm not going to Miku Fest for free, even though I could have. 4 cards you should probably get rid of, huh? Old credit cards? Okay, I'm gonna play the video game, just so that we're actually doing that instead of me just sitting here talking. I'm so tired. I'm so tired and so sleepy. I haven't had any caffeine today. I don't have coffee. Usually I have coffee when I'm doing this stream. Walmart debit card. I didn't know Walmart had debit cards. Is this the Dirt Finder General? I've been giving your details by the mayor as a person who can wash things and keep the dirt to themselves. Meet Holy Moly, my subterranean mining unit. It's a one-man excavator that I use to scour beneath the Earth's crust for valuable mineral deposits. Well, not me personally. I just tell them where to dig. Anyway, you may find some unusual mineral traces during the clean. Please dispose of them judiciously. Alright. We got a thing. It's addressed to valued customer. Oh, it's one of those. Okay. It's like a gift card, credit card. First and foremost, gnome, easy to find. That's an easy gnome. We got an easy gnome alert, everyone. Easy breezy beautiful cover gnome. Exactly. You get me. You understand me. You hear the words I say, and then you say other words, and those words are accurate to the things that I'm saying. Here's my problem. Here's my problem right now. I have spent the last several days doing a whole lot of like thinking about stories and writing and stuff like that. And even more than the stuff that I was talking about last week, which is all from RPGs and therefore very hard to share or talk about, I can't share or talk about this stuff even more because it's not appropriate for Twitch. And I'm so gumpy. Because it's all I want to think or talk about right now is these things that I'm thinking about writing and doing a little bit of writing on. You want to do this job in real life? That would be cool. Power washing things is probably like a pretty relaxing job overall. Invent new words to use as euphemisms for sex. I'll talk about things the way that that like TikTok videos talk about things. You know what I'm talking about? And then they totally scrump each other. Exactly. Exactly. You see me, you understand me. The thing is, I'm constantly thinking about writing things and coming up with things that I want to write every day of my life, all the time. It's like what my brain is just doing when it's in idle mode. But the problem with the fact that my brain is just doing that in idle mode all the time is a lot of it is pornography. A lot of it is, as the kids say, spicy content. I don't think the kids actually say that. I think TikTok people sometimes say spicy to mean porn, but that's just like also, you know, that's just also like a euphemism that existed before that. On TikTok they say unalive, they would say intercourse or something. Yeah. Um No, but in all seriousness, like I'm just coming up with all these like fun little romance stories, but all of the romantic aspects involve getting into uh getting into like, you know, the spicy stuff. I don't want to get too specific. I don't want to get anyone in trouble. I don't want to get the channel in trouble, but all I'm saying is, listen. All I'm saying is, what if the queen and the jester had a deeply unethical relationship? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Everyone's been saying this. Everyone is saying this all the time. And I'm just the one who's brave enough to bring it up. Everyone's always thinking about this. Little Plushy says all good romance features scrumping and entering courses. Because the thing is... Oh. Huh, I got an achievement for doing the drill head into the tip before anything else. I don't think the achievements actually pop up on the stream screen, so that's what that noise was. Okay, so here's the thing. If the sovereign of a nation and her jester are in love, there's not really an ethical way for that love to be taking place. Because one person is the sovereign of a nation and the other person is her employee, more or less. In some senses, they're a servant, like a slave almost, because of you know, what's the word? Feudalism. There we go. Like, I think probably a lot of them were serfs, right? Nothing a queen does is ethical anyway. You're right. You're so right. So, like, what if they were in love? That's all I'm getting at. The Pope hates clowns. That sounds like something the Pope would hate, honestly. The Pope hates it when a clown is in love with the Queen. And also they hate clowns in general. If it was a maidservant or something, no problem, but a jester that could start a crusade. You're so right, actually. There we go. Just, you know, if you are the sovereign of a nation, if you are the queen, you probably have not been raised in a way that allows you to understand how to show love in a healthy way, especially when it's to someone who the love that you have for them you don't actually understand, because you are meant to be like married to this person who you were married to for political power rather than someone that you're actually in love with, right? So you're gonna probably be expressing that love for that person in deeply unhealthy ways. But then if you're both in love with each other, you can work it out over the course of a story. You can work out, how to have this relationship in a healthy way that doesn't suck for everyone involved. And that's it. That's it. That's all. That's all that's on my mind right now. Hi, Quinn. Hello. What a good moment to join. Shiv wants to write pornography about medieval jester Yuri. Yeah, I mean that's kind of the long and short of it. all I'm saying, the short version is the long haul and the short haul of it. The short version of what I was saying, Quinn, just so you're up to speed, is what if the jester and the queen loved each other, but their relationship was deeply unethical on account of one of them is the sovereign of a nation and one of them is her like funny little guy. That's it. That's the whole thing. That's what we were talking about. And you see, this is the kind of thing that I've been thinking about just all week. They're totally gonna scrump over it. You're so right. You're so right. Uh, this is the kind of thing that I've been thinking about all week, and that's not like all of the details of that are either not worked out enough in terms of the like logistics and like the storytelling of it all, or otherwise are inappropriate to talk about. I'm just thinking about Nightmare Yuri. Yuri that is a nightmare scenario to be involved in. All Yuri is good, Yuri. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You're so right. Thank you. You're so right, and I also am so right. I've seen some really bad Yuri. Yeah, me too. We can't really say all Yuri is good Yuri because some Yuri is not good Yuri is the problem. Yuri is good by nature. Yeah, it takes a truly corruptive force to make Yuri bad. Like me. Why is this still dirty? There's some there. Like, I feel like I'm just, like, missing a very important piece of what the rear gripper is. Oh well, I'll move on. So yeah, that's what's been on my mind. How y'all doing? Now that you know about the things that I've been thinking about, which are mostly about telling stories that I just can't really talk about here. What are y'all feeling? How are y'all doing? What are y'all up to? Like it's high time. It's high time that the long haul got weird again. The long haul used to be weird. We used to talk about weird shit on here, so I'm making it weird. You and Quinn went to a furry con this weekend? That's cool. I've never been to a furry con. I have been to cons. I've been to 3 different conventions. I went to a local anime convention in Boise that I cannot remember the name of. In Boise, Idaho, though. When I lived in Missouri, I went to Motaku a couple of times, which is like a Kansas City based anime convention. And then actually the first convention I ever went to was fucking New York Comic Con. I do not recommend going to a con as big as New York Comic Con as your first con. That's all I gotta say. We used to be a stream. No Sakura-con? No. Is Sakura-con close to me? That's the one in Seattle? I know there's Emerald City Comic-Con. Is Sakura-con also here? I don't know. I haven't, like, gone or thought about too much about going to conventions since the pandemic started on account of the pandemic. I would love to go to a fur-con, but only if I had a fursuit, because, hey, that fursuit's gonna insulate all the COVID away from my face. You know? And I unfortunately do not have... I guess I need a bimetal cleaner. I unfortunately do not have a fursuit. You get a little sick after the con. I mean, that's normal. Con crud is normal. To be fair, like that's to be expected with any convention. Just I'm worried about getting COVID again because the last time I got COVID, I started getting so dizzy that I need a wheelchair now. So so I'm a little worried about getting COVID again. Did I get a text in the video game? I thought I heard the noise, but I didn't see it pop up. Nope. Okay. I'm half joking. The problems that I have balance wise are pre-existing, but I'm pretty sure COVID exacerbated them when I got it. Because COVID fucks your body up real bad. Sorry, that was depressing, probably. I'm just making conversation. I'm fine. Pat, Pat. Thank you. Thank you so much. Anyway. Yeah, sorry. Sorry if that was too real. Um, in all seriousness, though, no, I want to go to Emerald City Comic Con at some point because I've heard nothing but good things. My hope... if I should call your squirrel a fursona, but do you have any other sonas? I have two. You could call my squirrel a fursona. It's kind of the easiest term to describe what it is, because it is also just me, but like a lot of people say that about their personas too, but I think they mean it in a different way. For me, you could just call it a persona, though. That's fine. I have a second different squirrel. I got salami. Exactly. You're so right, Cora. I got salami. Let me see if I can pull up salami real quick. I know what you mean. I know what you are. Saying it that way sounds so ominous. Homophobic dog voice. I know what you are. I was thinking Twilight. You're a vampire, but that's also good. Um, where are my pictures of Solali? They are hidden somewhere on these hard drives. I have 5 of them in my computer. That's too many hard drives. Boop a doop boop boo. Ba-da! There it is. Um, I was about to just do like a screen share, but I can't actually just do a screen share because of reasons. So, let me curate some images real quick. Love watching other people have really awkward interactions online because they don't quite click. Yeah. Um Here, this scene I think should capture everything on my screen. Is that correct? Yeah, that's correct. Okay. So, okay. There we go. There's Solali. That's Solali. They're from my setting that I've been working on doing world building about for the last, I don't know, 15 years. And I've never gotten further than I am today because world building is really hard. I just like to conceptualize the magic systems. I deeply love conceptualizing magic systems and how the magic in the world works, but I hate coming up with actual settings. So, they are from Kinda, which is the name of that world. They're a funny little they're a funny little guy. Is the thing. The thing about Solali is that they are a funny little guy. They have a mask. They play music. Got to write some subpar. That wasn't subpar. I really enjoyed that stuff. Actually, my original like VTuber thing. Here you go. This was the first this is the first version of having a PNG tuber that I was using. I drew this one myself. Um, I love Teef. Yeah, classic. Yep. Um, Let me see if I have any more good ones that are easy to share and are actually in this folder. Oh, when I started talking about doing VTubing, someone who is like kind of a friend of mine, I guess, drew this for me. And they gave me like a closed mouth version so I could use it. Whoops. So I could use it for a VTuber. And I thought that was cute. Um, here's Solali in a Hanukkah sweater. That's what that image I accidentally went to was Solali in a Hanukkah sweater. Hanukkah sweater jump scare. Um, and then here is the original design for this character from like 2010-ish. They were a lot taller. Um, Oh, here they are with Korra's persona. I probably should have asked if Korra wants her persona shared. Here's them together. Bag face, yeah. Yeah. It's not your persona anyway. Oh, it's Kinray. Sorry, yeah. Persona is kind of the wrong word. My bad. I think I do have one with your persona in it, but I should probably not spend too much time just digging through this stuff, because there are things in there that are not appropriate to share on stream, because I do not categorize things. Yeah, like Solali is somewhere, for me Solali is somewhere halfway between an OC and a persona. So I kind of categorize other people's furry OCs as personas, even though they're not. And Kinray is also, strictly speaking, not a furry OC. I know. It's complicated. It's complicated. I'm trying not to get too into the lore right this second. All personas are OCs, but not all OCs are personas, probably. I don't know. It's like a squares and rectangles thing. That's not true. Some people's personas are just them, like mine. Yeah, so anyway, I just did a lot of rambling. I do have, I'm still sharing my everything. Let me turn that off. I don't know which one of these ones is the correct one. Is it this one? Is this good? Okay, this is good. Sorry. I'm a professional streamer, I promise. I'm really good at this. Persona 4 Golden. Yeah, so I also have other characters that I have like an older persona that was more just a like, this is just a representation of me persona. Unsurprisingly, that persona, also a squirrel. Show pause, please. I'll think about it. Better term for the me that you have and use, which isn't a persona nor an OC. Yeah. I feel you. Popics now? I mean, okay, if you insist. One second. If you're insisting on pause. the things I do to entertain this stream. The things I do for the long haul. Keep the long haul weird. There, are you happy? Are you happy now? That's just my normal reference sheet. Womp. Didn't think I would actually do it. You just want to mimic the people who beg for feet pics. Oh, I know. I was doubling down on your joke. I was assisting your joke, I thought. Hopefully it worked. Wanted pause unironically as per usual. I mean, same.
Want some rye? Orch, you do.
Oh, want some rye? That's from... I forget what game that's from. That's one of the games that Riley's played on FMV, though, I think. Right?
Beatboxing puppy.
The power of a brass horn with the nuances of a woodwind instrument.
Wow. We've got so many sound effects. Okay. Oh no. I feel like I haven't seen Squeaky Door in a while. Um, anyway, I got caught up talking about personas. I was talking about the conventions stuff. I've been to New York Comic Con and a couple of local conventions. I haven't been to any of the local Seattle ones. I would love to go to Emerald City Comic Con, and I think there's a FurCon around here now, but FurCons in Seattle are a dangerous proposition on account of this is where, like, you know, Rainforest happened. If you know the story, then you know. There was basically there was a nightmare convention that took place in Seattle once. A nightmare furry convention, which means that a lot of places are pretty reticent to put on furry conventions or allow furry conventions to do things there in the Seattle area. Because a bunch of weirdos trashed a Hilton one time. Okay, how am I supposed to get at that stuff? One of the charity auction items at the convention last week, it included a rainforest lanyard. Oh my god. That's funny. That's an artifact. Collection of con lanyards from Pepper Coyote. That's cool.
This is water. This is water.
This is water. CableCon will auction a rainforest lanyard at a DashCon ball. Hell yeah. Have you tried rolling the drill over? Can I? Is that... I don't think that's an option. That was a weird sneeze. Oh, that made me feel funny. Sorry. Oh. Sneeze alert. Pioneering non-autonomous chocolate vine fruit. Wow. So, y'all gotten any cool ideas for stories about unethical Yuri lately? Sadly, yes. Oh no. Oh yeah, I forgot to actually ask the question that I meant to ask. How was that convention? Was it good? You probably wouldn't be like mentioning it if you didn't have a good time. Was it a good con though? Was it your first con? Have you been to cons before? Tell me. Tell me all about it. Second con. Okay. Convincing that I need a fursuit, and I have recently commissioned a fursuit head as a treat for a promotion at work. That's cool. Is that the picture you put on Snap? I think I missed a picture that you put on Snap. Oh no. Well, that's really cool. That sounds fun. I've mentioned this before, but I've tried to get a fursuit head before, and unfortunately, it went badly. I paid an artist a whole lot of money, and she carved the head and you know, did a whole bunch of stuff, and then stopped responding to my messages ever. Replied to me 3 months later, refunded like 20% of what I paid her, and then never spoke to me again. Out of shame, presumably. The thing that really sucks is it was like a friend of a friend also. So like, but it's like a friend that I don't talk to much anymore, but she was the one who like introduced me. I have no idea if they're still active online, honestly. Partial refund was that bad? It was probably closer to half, honestly. They told me they would refund me the full amount in chunks, and then they gave me like, I don't know, a decent chunk of it, and then never talked to me again. Half? I got nothing. Yeah, I know. I've got some pictures of an incomplete fursuit head. The least that she could have done is mailed me the incomplete fursuit head so I could finish it myself, you know? Anyway, you know, it is what it is. This was years ago. Like, I'm not mad about it anymore. It did suck at the time. Rear shieldings, wheels, and wheel drive. This one? This rear shielding? Ah, I see. Okay. Wheels. Those ones are all good. Rear shielding sounds so suggestive. Oh, there's... Oh, yep. Okay, both of them are here. There we go. The closing ceremonies at the con made the charity representative cry. Well, that's good, I guess. Like, I think that sounds like a good thing. Charity representatives crying usually means that they got a lot of money. I feel like. This is a tremendous job, Dirt Finder. You may have earned yourself some lucrative future contract work. Congratulations. Thanks. Was this the one from Annie Mall? Yeah. Okay, so Treehouse. Here. Where's the message from Annie Mall? I've heard you're the unofficial top dog of the pressure washing game, but do you travel out of town? I've got a temple that's urgently in need of some TLC. $18,000 for St. Louis Pet Rescue. That rules. That's wonderful. I love that. The guy was using the supervillain drill to do something suspicious. Yeah. And he works with the mayor. And the mayor's cat was found near a volcano. My money is still, I think I said this a couple of weeks ago, like whatever the last time I played this was. My money on what's going on here is that is still, with that extra information, that the mayor has some kind of a volcano lair. That's it. We're gonna do the temple. Next door to my farm lives an order of the nicest, kindest, non-verbal monks, whose temple is currently caked in manure top to bottom. It's a heck of a story, I'll fill you in as you go, but basically they're not here right now, and I thought it'd only be right and neighborly of me to get it hosed down in their absence. Something to give them a boost for when they return. They sure could do with one. Normal mayoral volcano lair? Yeah. Yeah. Could be digging underground tunnels for a loop of hyper-fast cars. I was thinking the same thing. Like when I first saw that there was a drill, that was my first thought as well. Now, if I were a gnome, I would probably be hiding down here. No gnomes here. Wait, is that a gnome? On the top of the building? Is that it? I don't have like a zoom. Wait. I got a scaffold. I think that is a gnome. Huh. Alright, we found the gnome. Gnome detected. So, where to start? You tell me, Annie. So you know about the mayor's pipeline diverting all the water from the river to a secret mining rig, right? Okay. He's diverting the river for some reason. For some reason, I didn't expect this one to have lore in it. These monks have relied on that river to water their crops for time immemorial, and now their crops are failing. Oh, God. Oh, no. This mayor is horrible. The carnival guy did say he almost hit a bunch of monks. And Andy said the monks are all out right now. You're right. I didn't consider that. The plot thickens, or whatever. The plot is revealed as you blast it with water. So true. Okay, can we be done with the brazier? Why is the brazier still dirty? Where is this dirt? Where is the dirt on the brazier? There we go. I don't even know where it was. I just kind of jumped. Um. Anyway, I keep getting distracted. I'm very sleepy. Very cool. Very cool, with regards to... Oh, I still have my... Good lord. I forgot to change my feed. Back to the one that doesn't show stuff on my desktop when I'm doing things like alt-tabbing to see chats and stuff. Um... Anyway, yeah, sorry. I'm the distracto squirrel right now. We talked about the fursuit thing, talked about furry conventions, talked about conventions in general. Yeah, I've never been to a furcon. I would love to go to a furcon. I think it'd be really fun. I also think that it would be cool to try to maybe go into what's it called? Go into Emerald City Comic Con as media. Like, see if I can go in there and do like get like a media badge to do some, like, you know, maybe I'll do a little stream, maybe I'll record some stuff and show it to cable too, you know? Talk about the convention a little bit. And that seems like something that would be doable. I know that some people got media passes to go to San Diego Comic-Con. And like Emerald City is a much smaller convention than San Diego Comic-Con is, so like I have to assume that Cable 2 would be good enough for a media badge there. That was one of those funny little things that I had ideas for, where I would get like a puppet of me. There would be a me puppet, and the me puppet would go around and do like interviews at conventions or whatever. I think that would be a lot of fun. Don't think we got approved for SDCC badges. I thought that Arby did. I thought that Arby did, like, last year at least. Maybe not this year. And I think Null got approved for like a reduced rate badge where it costs less. But it wasn't like a free media badge. Anyway, I wouldn't necessarily need that to do any of this. I just think it would be cool to do and have. But I think it'd be fun to like, because, you know, there's at least when I went to New York Comic Con, there's tons of like indie comic creators and like webcomic artists and stuff like that. You know, the kind of people that I'm really interested in their art and the stuff that they're making. And I think it'd be cool to do like little mini interviews with them for a stream or for a like a recorded video to be run on a stream or whatever, with a little puppet guy. That's all. That's that whole idea. The puppet idea still floats with my head. Just got overwhelmed with designing a thing that works. Yeah. I don't even know where to begin on that. Like, there's definitely a way. I just have no idea what it is. I think I need a longer. There we go. Miss making things. I also miss making things. That's why I've been like doing so much of the like writing stuff and like coming up with ideas for writing stuff that I've been talking about. Like I do long haul and that's basically all I do as far as making things right now, and like my energy has kind of stalled out on the other stream things that I've been working on. So I'm trying to sort of reinvigorate my creative juices, like get my creative juices flowing by doing other things a bit, so that I can get back to making those things that are cool and I think are interesting and are important to me. They just fall out of my head because of writer's block or whatever. You focus on one thing for too long and your brain just stops wanting to do it, you know? That's kind of where I'm at with regards to those, to a lot of the stuff that I'm making and want to make. Just never got the juice for it. I'm sorry. I know that feeling too. I've recently gotten the juice for it again, but I didn't have the juice for it for a long time either. So I know how that feels. It's okay to be in a creative slump. And I'm saying that to y'all as much as I'm saying it to myself. It is okay to not be making things constantly forever. It's okay to take breaks. And sometimes you do need to force yourself to start working on something to get yourself to work on anything again, which is exactly what I've been doing lately, is just forcing myself to work on things so that I can work on the things that I actually want to work on. But doing all of that has given me ideas for... has given me ideas for, what's it called? For Yuri where a queen and a jester are in love. Deeply unethical Yuri where a queen and a jester are in love. So, like, I got that going for me. Big accomplishments for today were successfully talked someone into taking me to the pharmacy tomorrow and put my foot down, refused to move the deadline for my work project by 4 days with a little warning because it would just be because it would be convenient for someone else. That's fair. Those are both big accomplishments, frankly. Honestly, like, especially putting your foot down at work sucks. Like, I know how that goes. So, like, I don't know. I respect it. I think that's important. Deep into Pac-Man, but you really want Shiv Puppet. Jaunt and Weg were talking about making a Shiv Puppet for a while. Like, I was talking about it with them, but they specifically were the ones talking about trying to do that. So, like, I don't know. If you have ideas, throw them my way, and I'll see what we could do with them, maybe. Whenever people have energy for that sort of thing. Jaunt wants to model and print the controller. Oh, in a desperate act, the head the head monk sent them out all on a pilgrimage of faith. Hey. Did I get all the base parts over here? I did, it looks like. Okay, cool. There we go. Yeah, but anyway, like in all seriousness, it sucks to be in a creative slump, and I've been in one for what feels like years. And I'm doing everything I can right now to drag myself out of it, and it's miserable, but like, you know, when you see the products of your labor, like you force yourself to do all this stuff, and you actually see, like, you know, oh, a creative thing that I'm working on actually got finished for once, and like it's here, it's tangible. That feels good. That feels really good. So I don't know. I don't really have anything profound to say about it, but like, getting any amount of anything done is really hard, and like, you should be proud of yourself for getting anything done at all, frankly. Not talking specifically to Cora or anything, but like because Cora was the one who was mentioning that specific subject, but like, just in general, like, if you're getting stuff done, anything, even if it's not creative projects or the things that you want to be working on, you should feel accomplished for that, because the world fucking sucks. And it would suck less with more cool art in it, but if you don't have the energy for cool art, then sometimes that's just sometimes it's better to just take care of yourself, you know? I'm talking to myself right now as much as I'm talking to anyone. Just to be clear. Gonna feel that way soon when you get Wheel of Fan games up and running. Hell yeah. I'm excited to see where you go with that. I don't know what I'm missing that this thing is still so dirty. Ah, this whole side, like, the lower half of it. I see, I see. $50-hour work week drains all your want to make art. Yeah. Like I said, the world sucks. The world sucks, and putting anything at all into it, even if it's just the energy that you have to get through the day, is a worthwhile endeavor, and even if no one else is proud of you, I'm fucking proud of you, okay? Okay? And that goes to fucking everyone. Because that's the kind of shit that I need to hear people say sometimes. You can afford to get other people to make you art. That's cool. I love having money for commissions. That's super nice. It feels good to give an artist money. It feels good to get cool art. You know? You know? Both of those things feel great. Sorry, I got real sappy for a second there. Sometimes I need to say stuff like that because I feel that way. I feel like shit about the world and my level of ability to put out artistic stuff these days after all of the everything. Love that you can give better tips, too. Yeah. I do love to commission an artist and then give them a big tip. That just feels good. Back when I used to do art commissions, it felt really good to get a big tip. So it felt really good to get a big tip. So giving them feels great because I know how good it feels to get one. As it were. I feel like I'm missing a message that should be in the middle there. Or before that. Innuendo. I don't understand. I'm not smart enough for these highbrow jokes. Oh, it feels good to get a big tip. Oh, I see. I get it. Oh. Oh, I understand. Oh. I see. Wasn't gonna say anything that everyone else did anyway. I was about to make a joke about how I'm asexual, so I don't get these kinds of jokes, but, like, also I did start this stream by talking about, you know, deeply unethical Yuri. Deeply unethical, parentheses, affectionate. Okay, no. That second part is false. Most of the folder isn't pornographic. There just happen to be some pictures in there that have boobs and stuff out. And honestly, most of the stuff that's in there, I wouldn't even consider not safe for work. It's not like like as far as the persona folder is concerned, it's mostly just sort of artistically nude type stuff. It's not pornography for the most part. That will never ever happen, Quinn. That will never happen. I'm still so embarrassed about that whole situation. God damn it. The thing is, it's extremely fucking funny. It's also very embarrassing. Embarrassing things are funny sometimes, and this is one of those. Didn't I end up having to like DM Echo about the other ref sheet? The last time that this came up in conversation. Because Echo was so confused about what we were talking about. Or something. I don't remember. That was like 2 or 3 weeks ago. That's such a long time ago. How on God's green earth would anyone ever expect me to remember something that happened 2 weeks ago? Okay, that's too long. So is that. I want it to spread. Oh, okay. It's not spreading because I accidentally switched to the wrong nozzle. That makes more sense. I can't wait to in real life walk up to the mirror from the end of Undertale. And when I look in the mirror, it says, despite everything, you're still asexual. Cool. Cable Zero, featuring the other ref sheet. God. The secret forbidden channel. You're so right. Anywho, while the monks were gone, we had a freakish twister. Kink Cable and Long Haul. Fantasy Flight, except after you say fantasy, you have to waggle your eyebrows. Cursed things scooped up all the freshly laid manure from my farm and deposited it all over their temple. Oh no. Hoping that the inevitable or the eventual conclusion to the monk storyline is that because I'm blowing a bunch of manure off of their building, that's fertilizing their crops, and since I'm using water to do it, it's watering their crops, so they're going to have vegetables when they get back from their pilgrimage. Desperately hope that's how this ends. There we go. How is this eave still dirty? What an incredibly specific tornado. Fansley stream. Yeah. That's the future of Cable 2, baby. That is not the future of Cable 2, probably. 99% chance that is not the future of Cable 2. There we go. Yeah, we'd make our own premium site. Exactly. Cable 2 would never settle for Fansly. Getting stuck on things. I'm assuming most of what I'm missing on that thing is underneath. Powerful, it's cable 2. Hello, Arby. Interesting time to arrive. You would kill for a cable 2 premium site? Is that what you're saying? Eh. Cable too hot for Twitch. Some kind of non-fishy adult streaming site. I mean, I would say that things like OnlyFans and Fansly are pretty legit as far as that stuff goes. Like, I guess I don't know that much about it because that's not the kind of thing that I, like, spend my time and money on, but, like, I know sex workers, and they seem to trust those sites for the most part. OnlyFans less after the whole debacle with them trying to get rid of sex workers off their platform after sex workers built their platform, but, you know. Probably shouldn't talk too much about the politics of OnlyFans on this Cable 2 stream, but the people I know in the industry tend to think it's pretty workable, I think. Less corporate. Oh, I see what you mean. I see what you mean. Yeah, I'm with you on that. So we at Cable 2 will personally show up at your house to collect payment in cash only. Wow. Apparently on account of puritanical payment processors. Yeah, that's something that's like currently happening. And I know that the thing that happened with OnlyFans was also a result of payment processors, but you can't get away with that when you're specifically OnlyFans, I feel like. Like, you need to drop the payment processors and to do everything you can to keep the payment processors working for you. Otherwise, you lose your whole platform, and that's what almost happened to OnlyFans when they tried to do that. Think about streaming an After Dark style or network style streaming block separate from Cable 2 as a personal project. That would be interesting. Maybe what the world needs is a pro horny payment processor. Yeah. A sex positive credit card company. The opportunity for a pun name is incredible. I'm trying to come up with one off the cuff and I don't have one, but you're right. You're absolutely right. Here at Credit Plus, the only ones we're fucking over are our sexual partners, not our clients. God. I think part of the problem is just that payment processors are so standardized. Like, obviously you can pay for things directly out of a bank with, like, a check, or you can pay with cash, but, like, when it comes to processing payments digitally in a setting where you can't give someone a check or they don't have a check reader or whatnot, which is most places at this point, you can't really pay for anything with a check anymore. Unless it's, like, a money order to pay your rent or whatever. I lost track of that thought halfway through. Oh, it's also standardized now that, like, there's not really a way to create a new one. Like, you're not gonna convince people to start letting you do your weird card company, because who you're competing with is fucking Visa and American Express and MasterCard. Those companies basically own all payment processing in the United States. And it's bullshit. It sucks. It sucks really bad. My phone is yelling at me. Okay, it was nothing important. It sucks really super duper bad is the thing. You know, I feel like I get into capitalism bad a lot on the long haul, but, like, capitalism bad. At risk of repeating myself, capitalism bad. It so sucks, I know. How are you doing, by the way, Oddity? And Arby. I didn't ask how Arby's doing either. How y'all doing? Surviving? Yeah, I feel ya. Great to be here. Yippee! Just found out that Tencent made a zombie survival MMO featuring Will Smith. There was a zombie MMO featuring Will Smith? That is also my response. What the fuck? Gotta go get ready for bed. Alright, I'll catch you later. Nice to see ya. Can you imagine how the monks would have felt if they returned to their temple completely caked in cow excrement? Yeah, they probably wouldn't feel great, Annie. This is mighty kind of ya. I mean, for anyone, you'd see it as a sign, right? Yeah. I Am Legend 2, you play as the dog. Hey, can I just be mad about I Am Legend for a minute? Like, can I dredge up some anger from the year fucking 2008 or whenever that movie came out? Wait, let me look it up. I Am Legend movie. 2007. I was pretty close. Can I dredge up some anger from 2007 real quick? Cuz like that movie to me felt like a pretty solid adaptation of a lot of the things about the story it is based on. But here's the problem. And everyone knows this already. Like, I don't know why I'm acting like this is like gonna be a big surprise to anyone. They changed the ending. The whole thing with the ending of the film, or of the story rather, is that he realizes that the vampire things are not actually like horrible monsters. They're people, and he just doesn't understand how to communicate with them. To them, he is the boogeyman. He's the monster that lurks in the darkness and steals children and experiments on them and kills them. He is Legend. That is the whole thing. That's the whole thing. And they just cut that out of the movie entirely because it didn't test well with audiences and had him do a heroic sacrifice instead. And it makes me so mad. Like, what do people who don't know the Omega Man, like the movie The Omega Man, or I Am Legend, the original book, like what do they think that story is about, and what do they think the title means? That's what I want to know. Like, at some level I understand going, okay, this didn't test well, we should try to change some things about this, but literally just like removing the point of the story. Not Mega Man, the Omega Man. It's a different thing. I'm getting stuck on this scaffold a lot. Oh, I'm having weird sneezes today. I'm having the weird sneezes. The last page of the book is so satisfying. Yeah, like, come on, man. Found it confusing how there'd been a zombie plague for like 10 years. I don't remember the exact lore of it offhand, but if I remember right, it's something along the lines of like, the infection doesn't like turn you into a zombie or whatever. It like mutates you to this next form of evolution or something, if I remember right. I don't remember though. It's been a long time since I've read the book or seen that or anything. But yeah, like I Am Legend, the movie, they made the original ending, like completely special effects and everything. Like it wasn't even like an incomplete cut or anything. They just made the original ending, and test audiences didn't like it, so they scrapped it. Yeah, they were vampires. It's been so long I don't remember the specifics of anything, but like it was a little bit more complicated than like zombie plague the way it is in the movie. This thing still says it's like very dirty. What part of it am I missing? Maybe having a part where he starts turning one of the zombies back into a human, then realizes that she hates it and what he's doing is wrong and stops. Isn't that the alternate ending? Oh, I see. That's what's dirty still. Well, I'm down here now. Okay, I guess we're working on this now. Heck, I was trying to type something off screen real quick and my keyboard's in German mode instead of English mode. Heck, jeez. Goodness golly gracious. Okay. Anyway, I Am Legend is a good book. It's a pretty good book. I should read it again as an adult because it's been so long that I basically remember none of the details. I'm gonna try to snipe this. I don't think I can snipe it. Oh, yeah, I got it. Okay. Reread it every 2 to 3 years because it's great. Neat. I definitely should do that. There's a lot of stuff that I read in high school that like, not to be a downer because I'm constantly a downer, but because of like trauma stuff, like a lot of high school and those things that I read and enjoyed and did and whatnot in high school, I just have no memory of anymore. So like I really need to sit down and like reread that and like I don't know, I remember really enjoying Brave New World at the time, but I was also really pretentious. I was like a really pretentious teenager. So I might have been pretending to enjoy Brave New World. I legitimately don't remember. Which is kind of cool. A lot of the time people say things like, I wish that I could go back and read this story again as if I'd never read it before. I can do that with things that I enjoyed in high school. It's kind of neat. Like fringe benefits of horrific trauma, I guess, is that you forget a bunch of stuff. Anyway, I'm being a downer. Hello! Nice to see you. How are you doing today? Every time someone says that, hey, I'm here now, it seems like they're coming in at a weird moment. Maybe this whole stream is just weird moments this week. Depression's effect on memory has really messed that time up. Yeah. Mine's a combination of depression and, like, I was kind of just, like, drifting through my life, not expecting to, you know, make it through my life at the time. Again, not to get too real, just, you know, it was the reality of my situation, and I got through it, and everything's cool now. Everything's chill and cool and awesome, actually. It turns out that if you're medicated and, like, have a support network and people who care about you and are, like, kind to you and stuff, life's good, actually. Oh no, I'm so sorry. Sir? Oh no, he's gonna roll off. I was just trying to clean. I'm sorry. No, I don't want you to fall down. Oh no. Oh no. Epic gnome stunts. Alright, let's see a gnome stunt. That was pretty epic, actually. That was a cool flip. Gnome watched the session stream and wants to do the same. Yeah. I think that every simulation game should let me build a skate park in the sky, the way Session did. Huh. Heel Yag. I don't remember how I got up there. There we go. I'm pretty sure that real pressure washers don't have to do the kinds of stunts I have to do in this game. Like, I'm pretty sure real pressure washing doesn't involve this many jump shots. Call of Duty replay video ass. They need to add pressure washing rocket jump physics. They do, you're so right. I should be able to fly a little bit. Like it's Mario Sunshine. I hate doing the jumping over and over to clean things thing, but like I don't know what else to do when it's weird little lips like that and stuff. There we go. I think that's everything up there now. Sure is a good thing this game has no fall damage. Could you imagine? Being on roofs like this in real life is pretty scary. Oh, yeah. It absolutely is. Being on sloped roofs in general is like really scary. Yeah. You're completely right. It's terrifying. When I was a teenager, I went up on roofs a few times to like help my dad like replace some tiles or something. And it's scary and miserable. And it takes a lot of energy just to stand up. Like I mean, y'all have probably stood on hills before, like a steep hill. Standing on the side of something steep that has like a decent slope to it is physically painful after a while. Like, it's rough. Truly not as simple as it looks, yeah. That is one of those things that even if I was completely able-bodied, I would be paying a professional to do. Every time, no matter what. Like, even if my body was 100% functional and I was spry and whatever, like, I'm not doing that. Whatever mountain goats are doing, we should respect it more. Agreed. I think those guys mostly make funny music. Actually, most of the music is pretty sad. They do have Foreign Object, though. A song which I deeply appreciate. Constantly, always. Eh. I think it's funny that they have a song that, like, the majority of the lyrics are the words foreign object and the phrase, I'm gonna stab you in the eye with a foreign object. It's a funny song on its own, and it's also very depressing in its own way. That's one recommend Mountain Goats. I don't know what AJJ is. What is AJJ? So I thought get the whole thing cleaned off. Say the Twister gave a temple some kind of sacred hose down instead. Oh, this lady is so nice. This is a really kind woman. Just doing these monks a big favor. Secret little miracle just between the two of us. Aw. That's really sweet. That's genuinely sweet. Oh, Andrew Jackson. Okay, I do know of this band. Have a theory that all queer people get to pick one band with a nasally lead man. Yeah. Unfortunately, the one that I picked was Michael Guy Bowman. I do like the Mountain Goats, but I'm not, like, into the Mountain Goats, you know? Like, hey, if fucking Foreign Object or the Legend of Chavo Guerrero or This Year or whatever pops up on my, like, autoplay playlist, like, I'm not complaining. But I'm not, like, going out of my way to listen to him most of the time. Michael Guy Bowman, I know what you are. I make no secret of it. Michael Guy Bowman follows me on Twitter. He's also probably my favorite music artist of all time. Like, I can't say that I listen to him a ton currently, but, like, anytime he releases new music, I'm all in for, like, a good 3 or 4 months. And I can't really say that about any other artist. Like, the thing about Bowman is that his music is legitimately just really good. Didn't know he was still making music. I think his last album, let me look real quick. I think his last album came out 2 or 3 years ago now. Actually, probably more recent than that, actually. I forget when Ulterior Motives came out. 2022, July 2022, so almost 2 years is when his last album came out, and it's pretty good. He's done a lot of different stuff stylistically over time. I think a lot of it's pretty interesting. He does things with his voice that he didn't used to do, and there are things that he used to do with his voice that I really like that he doesn't do anymore. But like I wouldn't say he's like constantly reinventing himself musically speaking, but he's trying new things, and kind of breaking into different styles a bit in a way that I enjoy. Pretty much every album he does. You know, this is because you're listening to it earlier today. 2021 was Gravity Makes the Flame Rise, right? Yeah, I know it's Gravity Makes the Flame Rise. This one came out during the pandemic. You can fucking tell. Yeah, you can fucking tell. In the land of the free, where you can give your disease to anyone at all. Like, Gravity Makes the Flame Rise rules. I fucking love that album, actually. Like, legitimately, that whole album is 100% bangers, I feel like. The lyrics to Land of the Free are so funny. Yeah. And we know we have rights. I can't sing right now. My throat's too, like, gunked up. So I can't actually sing it well. But we know we have rights, written by magical men with a wave of the pen in the land of the free. It's so fucking good. What a good album. What am I missing on the window frame? Oh, the ledge. The ledge. It's always the ledges in this game. Ladder, please. I also listen to that album pretty regularly. Like, when he comes out with a new album, I tend to listen to it for like a month, basically. Like, I just replace most of my music listening time with whatever the album is. And I like it. I like that one a lot. I like that one more than I like Ulterior Motives, the newest one, but Ulterior Motives has some real bangers on it.
Want some rye? Course you do.
Course you do. Hi, Riley. The interesting thing I think about Michael Guy Bowman's musical output is that it's all like him writing his name out. So his first album was called Mobius Trip and Hadron Collido. Then you have Ithaca, Comfortable Bugs, fuck, what's the H one? Hyrule Warriors. Oh god, what is the H one? Now that's gonna drive me crazy. That's gonna drive me crazy. I can't look it up. I have to figure it out on my own. I can't even look at the chat. Hush. Hush is what that album's called. There we go. But like all of the first letters of every one of his albums is spelling out his name. So at this point, he's made it to Michael Gut. He is currently up to Michael Guh, and I'm very curious what he's gonna do if he ever actually finishes Bowman. You've never listened to Hush? Hush is a pretty good album. It's got some good songs on it. The legends tell of a time when the spelling is complete. Imagine getting your name changed halfway through that process. Michael Guy Bowman comes out as trans and renames every one of his albums. And when he releases his last album, he just has to get a new name. Who's the Homestuck artist that's trans and released the Medium concept album? That would be Jit Shiel. I cannot remember her actual first name. I think Jit is her username. I used to play Team Fortress 2 with her. Before she released a Homestuck album. We used to play Team Fortress 2 together. On the, mostly on the Homestuck. Like the MS Paint Adventures forums had an unofficial TF2 server. I think I have the right person, right? That is Jit, who I'm thinking of. Like, I know that's the right person with the Team Fortress 2 thing. I don't know if that's the right person who is trans and used to make Homestuck music. Jit Shield is not trans? Who the fuck am I thinking of then? The other person I also knew, shit. I fucked up. Oh, God. Because that's like the two people on the music team that I knew at some point in my life was well, and also Bowman, who, like, we don't talk, but, like, we're Twitter mutuals. That's something. Plasmataz! Okay, I was thinking of Medium. I was thinking of the correct album, too. Yeah. Me and Plaz used to play Team Fortress 2 together. I can't believe I mixed up Jid and Plaz. It's a good thing that these people don't talk to me anymore, and that I haven't, like, spoken to them in years, because that would be really embarrassing if I did. And they were paying any attention to what I do with my free time. I think we're still Steam friends, but I haven't spoken to either of them in a long time. Wild to me that you know them, though. They were my personal heroes when I was 14 or whatever. Here's the thing. I was 14, too. Like, I was just some kid playing video games on the MS Paint Adventures forums, and we were all under 18. Like, we were all just teenagers. Not all of us. I guess I don't know how old they were exactly offhand, but I'm pretty sure we were all teenagers, and we all talked, like, pretty regularly, and there was an extremely brief time I was on, like, a Highlander team with I think Plaz was on that? I can't remember. It's been so long that I don't really remember any of this stuff clearly anymore. Like I said, all of the stuff that happened to me in high school, I don't have any clear memory of these days. Like I was saying earlier. So, like, I might have some details wrong here about the specific, like, people who were involved in that and stuff, but yeah. 100% for sure I can tell you that I played Team Fortress 2 with those people. Really like all the Homestuck music. Built itself over time. Motifs that are from early songs that get reused in new pieces. I love that. Yeah, it's so cool. And it's one of those things that like Homestuck would be impossible to experience properly again. I feel like, at least for me, because like the discovery and like seeing the music like come into itself and like more and more things incorporating more and more motifs from different stuff and all that from different older songs and stuff, like that was such a unique thing to just watch happen. And so like I don't think I could ever recreate that, and that is one of my favorite like parts of the experience of reading Homestuck. I'm sure it reads perfectly fine as a regular webcomic where you don't have to deal with all of the waiting for updates and like the meta stuff and the forums and whatever. Like I'm sure it's a perfectly fine webcomic to read, but like I cannot imagine the experience being anything like reading it as it was coming out. What am I missing on this wall? A little overhang here, maybe these little lip areas. No? Ah, there we go. Prefacing this joke with I enjoy it, and it's totally fine. The long haul? More like the long Homestuck. Yeah. What can I say? It was formative for me. Homestuck was really important to me when I was younger, and like one of the few things that I still have a lot of like positive memory associations with from that period of my life. So like, I'm not insulted by it. I am unashamedly a fan of bad webcomic Homestuck. Everyone I've met who's been involved in the Homestuck fandom will inevitably end up talking about Homestuck if a conversation goes on long enough. I mean, talking about Homestuck on this show is pretty regular. It comes up every now and again. There we go. So that's all this stuff. That wall's good now. Buttresses are not, though. Watched a YouTube interview with a certain sex worker earlier, and when asked how they got a following online in the first place, they said they were a prominent Homestuck cosplayer. Yeah, you were telling me about that. They feel more shame from that than from sex work. That's pretty funny. Like, I don't know, like, I feel like a lot of people are sort of ashamed of their Homestuck phase or whatever, but like, I don't know, I just... I genuinely enjoyed it, and it was a big part of my life, and I think that's fine. I don't know. I don't feel the need to make like a thing of being ashamed of it or whatever, or like thinking like talking about how I was super cringe when I liked it or whatever. Don't get me wrong, I was. It upsets me that people consider home. Yeah, like that's what I'm getting at. Like, I don't know. People are always gonna feel weird about the stuff that they liked when they were in high school or whatever. I feel like that's just kind of a normal experience. You're always gonna look at that stuff and go like, oh, I can't believe I liked this when I was younger. But like, I don't know, when I look back at Homestuck, I just go like, yeah, that was a really cool experience, and I met a lot of really cool people through it. So even if is a large chunk of the comic that I just don't really enjoy that much, it's still really important to me, and I love it. People associate more with shame of teenage years. Yeah. That's what I'm getting at. Oh, a lot of people who were never into Homestuck find it shameful. Yeah, fuck those people. Those people can go fuck themselves. Like, yeah, I'm with you on that one. The problem is the work itself so much as how they were behaving while they were into it, which is a product of their age. Yeah. I'm with you there. And I'm sure that, people... I was going to say, I'm sure that in a few years people will start feeling that way about Undertale. No, I think Undertale's been out long enough. I'm sure people feel that way about Undertale now. For the same reason. Like younger folks. People younger than me, at least. I don't know. At some point, I just freed myself from the shame of enjoying things. And of the shame of, like... I can't believe I used to be this way. I don't know when or how I did that, but I freed myself from it, and it's wonderful. It feels great to just, like, be able to think about those things as, like, good and formative parts of my life. Undertale is thoroughly in the you cringe era. I guess I'm just not following anyone who thinks that way about it, and I prefer it that way. Haven't seen that, and I'm glad. Yeah. Okay. We're very close on this. I really get the concept of fandom as a whole. I missed the thing that Arby said. Let me scroll up here. Never fully engaged with fandoms in the same way as others exactly, but things simply epic. Love it when things are loved. Yeah. I would agree. I ever really get the concept of fandom as a whole, but one cannot deny that fandoms do tend to crank out some really great creative works. Agreed. 100% agreed, yeah. Extremely into a particular character did not know an extremely critical core aspect of his personality because they never read the part where they got introduced. Oh no. Uh-oh. That's a very funny situation for someone to be in, I think. Not trying to say this is bad, I just do think it's funny. Yeah. Get to the story by proxy. Yeah, I get that. The thing that I never understood, like going back to Homestuck, the thing that I never understood really is like the like the part that I like of Homestuck is when the trolls get introduced, so you should just skip to that. Like the trolls are great. Like they're good characters, they're interesting. I think a lot of a lot of Act 5, Act 1 is really fun. I do not understand how you could possibly sit down and read Act 5, Act 1 of Homestuck and have a good time if you haven't read any of the rest of Homestuck. I don't understand how anyone got into Homestuck that way. Exclusively experienced Signalis via fanfics, and it was kind of amusing to see them both baffled and delighted hearing about some of the basic exposition from the game itself. That's actually how I am about Signalis. I have not engaged with Signalis as a video game at all. Like, I know nothing about it aside from what happens in the fan art. I think there's a girl named Elster, and I think she's in love with someone, and they're gay, and they maybe kiss, but also they kill each other. That's about all I know. Like, that is the exact way that I have interacted with that game. Barge board. I'm missing a barge board and pedestals. Oh, wait, what? Ah, right here. Ah, there. Okay. Okay, there's the pedestal. Then a wall decoration and a barge board. Which I think are the eaves, but like the front eaves here. I think that's what those are. Everything you said is explicitly true. No stretches or like basically that. I'm 100% correct. They're in love and they kiss, and also they kill each other. And there's a girl named Elster. Elster. Here's the barge board. Where's the dirty on the barge board? There it is. Elster. Okay. I was adding an H that wasn't there, and that was confusing me and making me think of Esther. Wah. Okay, wall decoration. That's a door decoration. Oh, it's that. It's that right there. Alright, let's snipe it. See if I can snipe it. Yeah! I know it don't sound too enticing, but any chance you could clean up my abandoned washroom? Elster Sunday. Alright, let's see this. That's a pretty good time lapse. I would say that's a pretty good time lapse. Elster Sunday is when she lays eggs, means magpie in German. Ooh. I see. Goodness me. They said you were the best, and now I'm a believer. The temple looks immaculate. This is going to give them such a lift, and I could look forward to many more years of free labor on the farm. Oh, no! Oh, no! She was being so nice and cool, and then she said that. This whole time she was being so wholesome, and then she said that. Oh, no. Video games are bad. I've been fooled. Many more years of free labor on the farm. She did pay for the whole cleaning for them. Yeah, but they're apparently taking care of her farm for her. Also, she's talking about years of free labor. She gave me like $700 to clean that. That was not that expensive. All right, folks. The monks seem okay with the arrangement? I guess so. I mean, if they're fine with it. The framing does kind of suck. Yeah. I think that was meant to be a punchline where you go, "Oh, she's so nice. Oh no," right at the end. I think I had the reaction the developers expected me to have there. But I guess I can't 100% speak for that. I might be wrong. Anyway, I'm sleepy and I'm tired and I want to make a coffee because I still have to be awake for the next like 7 hours. So thanks for watching this stream. This is a weird one, huh? It started out with me talking about like erotica that I'm writing. I like how the yawn is only for me. It's not an everyone yawns, it's just a me yawning. That's really funny. And I'm gonna yawn again because I'm thinking about yawning. You fucking... Self-fulfilling prophecy. Yeah, this stream started with me talking about erotica that I want to write and have been working on because there's just like nothing else going on in my brain, and then it ended with talking about Homestuck somehow. I don't know how we got here. I'm eepy sleepy. I think in the tags for this stream, I wrote eepy, sleepy, snoozy, and tired. I can't remember. I put like 4 things about being tired in the brain contents women Homestuck. Yeah. Andrea, the short version is, what if the jester and the queen were in love? That's really the basis of the erotica talk. Anyway. Sleepy, tired, eepy, and snoozy. Hell yeah. That's great. Thank you for the pin, John. Anyway, I could probably talk about this somewhere that you can see it, Andrea, if you want. Like, if you really want to hear about this what I have been describing as deeply unethical Yuri. I don't really know what Yuri means. I just know it's like girls being gay for each other. I know that's a thing that people call that. I don't actually know if that term means something specific other than just girls being gay in Japanese media generally. I don't know. I'll have to look into it. Sleepy, tired, eepy, snoozy. God. Oh, God. Thank you so much, Arby. Yuri is also just called Girls Love. Okay. Yuri is the first man in space. Also true. Thank you, Yuri, for inventing girls kissing? Question mark? Thank you, Yuri Lowenthal, for voicing Spider-Man, inventing girls kissing, and going to space. Yuri is also Lily in Japanese. Okay, I'm gonna go. Let me do my thing. I'm getting distracted talking about Yuri. He came up with it while he was in space. That makes sense. Thank you, Yuri. Shout out to Yuri. Friends, enemies, past romantic partners, and future nemesis, thank you so much for tuning into The Long Haul. It's a celebration of simulation. We've done it. We've done it. It's exclamation Shiv, not TLH. You do this every time. It's very funny every time to me. There it is. Friends, enemies, past romantic partners, and future nemesis. I'm saying it a second time. Thank you for watching The Long Haul. This has actually been a really nice stream. I was kind of down in the dumps a little bit. And I feel better now, so I hope y'all are feeling good. Have a good night. Bye. Love you. Bye. Bye. Reminder to self, I still need to check with the artist of this music I've been using on this title screen for the last 3 months, whether it's okay to do that. I was doing it like one time and I kind of just forgot to ever change it, and now I like it a lot, so I want to keep it that way. Okay, bye.